Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. I'm going to be doing an observational drawing today using charcoal pencils, maybe some paint, we'll see how it goes. And I've got over here this lovely decoration which I am going to have outside of your view because it's going to be a bit tricky to show you the whole process, but I'm going to be doing an observational drawing and I'm going to use charcoal to help me to do that. I'm just quickly finishing up signing in and getting everything visible. So just bear with me one sec. And I will also change the thumbnail on the live stream video screen. At the end of the video I will sort everything out so everything has the correct thumbnail, including a photo of what I'm drawing plus my drawing. I'm going to make a real proverbial mess, but I just thought it would be fun to actually sit down and just draw. I didn't really feel like doing coloring as much as it is fun. Hi Shani, how are you? Alright, so I thought I'd show you before I get going what I've got. So this is my chamois cloth, which is now pitch black. It's supposed to look a bit more like this, but it's now black. And I've got graphite here, which I sometimes draw. These are my charcoal sticks. And my absolute favorite is this one, which is really that one. This is willow charcoal, which is really great, and somewhere I'm supposed to have a kneadable eraser. So this is gonna be fun. I think it's in here. Yes. Okay, so kneadable eraser, I need those. This was grey, but I've used so much charcoal, it's now actually the color of charcoal. And then I've got blending stamps, hard erasers. I have got a mono zero eraser if you need one. White Posca pen. I might use white paint. Derwent eraser. Okay, I think that's it. A candid attitude. I normally use basically this. I do have charcoal pencils as well, which I may or may not use. So I have this one. I also have an erasable, so it's a pencil eraser. So I might use that. And a smaller, more worn out blending stamp, sharpener. Okay. And I do have white charcoal. So that's usually what I'm using for coloring or drawing in charcoal. I love my kneadable eraser. I'm just gonna reorganize this quickly. Right. Okay. Put it all to one side. I realized the other day that I need to keep my tools on my right side because I'm right-handed. So when I'm doing a video, I don't end up going across the page. Okay, so I've got lovely shadows here. I'm going to try and move my, I'm going to move the screen slowly so I don't make you too dizzy, so you can see. Alright, so here is a start. Now I've got really beautiful shadows along here, and I'm going to try and include those shadows in my drawing as well, and the candle will go quite a way up. And I'm going to try and focus on drawing my basic shapes and paying attention to negative space. So this is sort of center of the log. I'm not going to worry about the white snow. I can add that with white acrylic paint. What I'm going to do is create a cylinder for my log, sort of maybe a bit more of a triangular prism for my candle, and figure out the rest as I go. So that's what I'm looking at, but you won't you won't see it because I only have one camera. I haven't got it set up to show you both at the same time. Maybe one day I'll get that professional. Okay, right, let's think. And then what I do is I have this habit, I actually play with my kneadable eraser while I think. So it ends up getting really sticky, but it's my way of kind of processing and releasing my anxiousness. Okay, so I'm going to do it in portrait, and I cannot have my log starting here or ending here because I have a section of the leaves kind of going out. So I need my log probably to start more or less here and probably end about here. Okay, so I'm gonna now I'll fix this as I go. It's a nice thing I like about using charcoal is you can fix things as you go. Now sort of in the middle around here. Now I already have a problem. This is too high. That's too high. Okay. We bring it a little bit lower. So if I do go quiet, please excuse me. I like trying to switch my brain off. I find I draw better when my brain is sort of not really focused on anything other than the candle. Okay, that's a bit too, needs to be a bit broader here. Let me make that there. All right, I might adjust this as we go. All right. It always looks messy and then it starts to take shape. So I'm going to really give myself time to draw this. This candle needs to actually be longer. Now I've not done any sketches beforehand. And generally you want to do like preliminary sketches and that sort of thing, but it's okay. Okay, I've got the idea here, but I'm going to put in a bit of background. So I hope everyone is doing all right. I hope that you are well, that your weekend is good, that your holiday prep is going well. So please don't expect, I hope that you're not expecting, you know, professional artist sort of style here, because that's not what you're going to find. You can see my fingerprints have smudged. What you're going to find here is just practice, a mess, and that's pretty much it. It will look nice at the end, but it is just gonna be what it is. Now, we've just started our holidays, so I'm really excited that we can just take a break, have some fun, and do things in a more relaxed way now. All right. So it's such a tricky thing because a part of me wants to be able to draw realism, and there's this other part of me that's sort of like, how do I draw well, and how do I also make it interesting to look at? And these are just tensions that I hold. We've got a bow here, so I need to bring a bow across, maybe a bit lower. Sometimes I end up forgetting where my lines are. It's hilarious. Like, where am I going with this? But it's so good. Got to show the twist of the ribbon. I love charcoal because at least with charcoal you can get your values in. Alright, so I have a shadow along here. I need to show that shadow. It will help differentiate between the stick of holly and the ribbon. Now I have, this has gone wrong, so I need to fix this. This closer here. All right, I've got a twig coming along here. We'll just make a nice line. It's too big. I figured that there are people out here on YouTube who also like drawing. And sometimes all the great and beautiful sketchbooks, drawings, they show very polished work, and I thought it would be nice to kind of encourage people who also like to draw that it's okay if it looks messy and you're fumbling around, because you're not alone. So along here, I've got a shadow along this. For those of you who do like coloring or are more interested in coloring, this sort of a study is very helpful because you can see how the shadows help separate the different elements in a coloring page. So you can use the same techniques on a drawing as you would in a coloring book. It's all about understanding where the shadows are and your values. Once you can understand that, you'll go a long way in helping any drawing or your coloring page to really start standing out. Give it a more 3D look. Okay, now I'm gonna make this log a bit bigger. It's feeling a bit too small, so I'm gonna adjust it, but I think we need to try and draw in some of these holly leaves. I used to worry so much about what I should draw, and I'd spend hours trying to find great things to draw on Pinterest and that sort of thing, and I started to focus more on observational drawing. And from there I realized there is a lot to be said for observational drawing. It really teaches you realistic views of sizes of things. And now instead of worrying about what to draw, I'm trying to just draw just about anything, because it doesn't really matter as long as I'm drawing. It's kind of like when you learn a language for the first time. There's a lot to be said about learning, you know, getting a new vocabulary. And at the end of the day, it's really, there's going to be a lot of not so great drawings. And that's okay. The whole purpose of my live stream is to just observe, and it will come out however it comes out. I'm not going to be too worried. I'm not going to make a perfectly polished drawing. It's not what this is about. I'm still making this far too big. And sometimes I can't actually figure out yet how to do my drawing in a way that the lines going straight up actually work, so my brain actually gets stuck. And I can actually feel when my brain panics. It kind of goes, no, it does not compute, does not compute. And it can be quite a weird feeling. Alright, so I'm not going to end up having the entire leaves reflected, so that's okay. So I'm widening my log now, and I'm going to build up some of this texture. And it's not going to end up looking exact. Oh dear. Oh well, it's fine. Alright, so then I'm going to round up my corners here. I want to create I don't want a flat background. I want a background with some movement in it. And that's why I keep working on it. I want to put expression into my drawing. I don't want to leave it not having any expression. I'm not worried about my fingerprints on my drawing. So if you're looking and thinking, oh, don't use your fingers, I don't mind using my fingers. This is my sketchbook. It's just experimenting and playing, so I don't really mind. I wouldn't use my fingers necessarily on a longer drawing. So if you find it easy to color or draw holly leaves, let me know in the comments your tips and tricks. Hi Kenny, how are you? Sorry, I think I might have taken a little while just to get my phone charger and switch everything on. I hope you are well. I'm glad you're well. Now, if I bring in a bit of red, I wonder. What we actually have is quite a lot of shadow on this candle. Hey Ronnie, how are you? So I took the kids up to London to try and find the Christmas lights, which was all good and well, but I didn't come right. I ended up walking us quite a while and not really finding as many Christmas lights as I wanted. I did find a Christmas market, so I bought us some churros and we sat for a bit and had some churros, which helped a lot, I think. But yeah, nope, not much luck with the Christmas lights. I'm gonna put it down to I wasn't well prepared. Let's bring in some more of the shadow. So I need my really favorite really dark, lovely charcoal this. Fade that like that. Hi Brittany, how are you? Now at least with the shadows it's starting to look a lot more cemented, which is really what we're looking for. We've got white splotches on here, so just trying to lift a little bit of the charcoal to create a bit more of the structure I'm looking for. Hi Carly, hi Dawn, how are you? Nice. Glad you're doing well, Dawn. Carly, what did you have for lunch? So we need a bit more. Shadow along here. And then put this down. Sounds great. Merry Christmas, Dawn. Do any of you enjoy going to Christmas carols? I mean, for those of you who do celebrate Christmas, do you enjoy the Christmas carol services? If you don't enjoy Christmas or do Christmas, how do you like to spend the holidays? So I've just grabbed a red pencil to just start working a little bit of red in here. Oh, lovely. You're going to your family on your dad's side. That's awesome. Right, so I don't want a strikingly hard white line. And if, as you can see here, the pencil is actually scratching up charcoal residue. Oh dear, don't break your pencil. Don't break the charcoal either. Which actually, I think the red against the black will look really, really lovely. Let's see, I had more red pencils here. There we go. So the candle is more of an orangey red, so I don't want to use too much of a dark blue red. I need to kind of bring in some of these oranges. I might bring in some yellows. Oh, thank you, Kenny. You're very kind. I appreciate that. I really struggle drawing holly leaves. It's the bends and the twists in them. I haven't yet figured out how to portray them, but I like how it's turning out. One of the things I am encouraged to do by my tutor is to keep reflecting and looking at my own drawings and sort of saying, okay, what do I like, what do I don't like? Making notes of where I would adjust things, how I would adjust it. Also looking at ideas, any ideas, maybe I should try this. So I thought to myself, what would it look like if I did charcoal with red? And instead of just doing it in charcoal and wondering, it's a case of activating it and saying, okay, I'm curious to see how charcoal will look with some color in the drawing. Hence, taking out some pencils and actually using that. So it's actioning things instead of just wondering about them. So I'm going to also find the courage to show you guys some of my sketches, and from there I'm hoping to share, but you guys will see some of my notes, which will be saying things that I don't like and that sort of thing. And it's not because of being negative, it's actually part of the learning process. Wow, Dawn, stay warm. Sounds cold. Hi, Kim, how are you? So I'm finding these pencils are not quite bright enough, so I'm not really sure yet how I want to brighten it up. So it's looking a bit dull. But let's, while I think that through, I'm gonna go ahead and add some more twisty holly leaves. I mean, my goodness, these things are like really twisty. These darn holly leaves, my goodness. Oh, thank you. You're very kind. I'm very much in the learning phases. But this is why I decided to go ahead and put myself on a course, because I've always loved drawing. Though I reckon that it was a good thing I'm only doing an art degree now. Give me a bit of time to kind of mature. Oh, thank you. Sometimes it's hard to know what to draw and what to actually leave out. I mean, that's another thing I'm working slowly on figuring out, because you don't have to draw everything that's in a photo or in your reference picture. And finding out what to draw is quite the challenge. So this whole thing here needs to actually be kind of white. Okay, and then I've got a cluster here of holly, so kind of coming here. So after going all the way up to London, I went the next day with the kids to see my parents, which was absolutely lovely. And then Sunday came round and I took my one boy to go see a friend at a carol service. It was been rather busy weekend. But all in a really good way. I have decided drawing holly is really, really hard. I don't know how people do it. I'm going to have to figure out a way to make this so much simpler. They say, you know, draw what you see. Yes, that is true. Some people do like to create photorealism. And those people who do such beautiful work have got incredible patience and are very skilled in their craft. That being said, I am very glad that there is more styles of art than just photorealism. I think one of the things that I think about when I consider art and the different styles, and this is a personal thing. In no way am I saying photorealism or hyperrealism isn't art. It is definitely art. But in a world where we have cameras and I can just easily take a photo, and there was this one artist I looked up and I was having a look at his collages, and he was considered by some people to be a father figure in his time. His name is Ramar Bearden, and he found that photos actually lacked expression, so he went more into collage, and his work really is fabulous. So I think photorealism has its place, but so do all the other arts. Oh, did you used to love charcoal? I remember watching the Titanic so many times with my dad. He loves the Titanic. And I loved how Leonardo da Vinci's character, Jack, was always drawing with charcoal. It's like, oh, gonna try and be like him and make these beautiful charcoal drawings. So I grabbed charcoal out of the fire, because I mean, I didn't have access to charcoal, you know, artist type charcoal. And off I'd go and try and draw like the movie. I get my mom's still life and, you know, her artificial flowers and berries, and then I would try and create my mom's, recreate these pieces with charcoal. And, oh, it became so messy that I actually gave up on it. It's like, no, there is no way this is fun. This is just, I mean, I look a mess. And then my first project in school, art school this year, has been with charcoal, and I learned so much about how to play around with it and blend it, and I'm still learning so much, but it really helped a lot. Yeah, maybe one day I can actually draw portrait and pretend I'm Jack. Maybe out of nostalgia I'll try and draw Kate Winslet with charcoal in a similar pose, sort of like an ode to my youth. It is messy. I think I've just gotten braver, to be honest. It cleans quite quickly too, so it's not the real end of the world. Oh, you love charcoal on your hands. Yes, it does feel so creative. Yeah, I can understand that. I quite like blending it with my finger, but ideally I should have my hands washed, which I forgot to do, so I'm trying to not use my fingers too much. Would you ever get back into sketching again, Kim? All right, I can tell you, pencil on charcoal makes putting charcoal back down a lot tricky. Oh yes, I know Lacry Fine Art. She's very, very good. Yes, it is okay to trace reference photos, especially when you're starting out and there is a bit of controversy between whether you should carry on doing that or not. And I think for some people, especially the artists who take commissions, sometimes it helps to have those tips and tricks to speed up the process. But for me personally, I like the challenge of learning how to actually draw. It's always been something I've struggled with, is drawing faces. So I want to learn the techniques over the next long while and be able to draw a portrait without needing to trace over a reference photo. Oh, that would be awesome if you did decide to draw. Everything goes through seasons though. Some things are a trial and that's about it, and other things we come back to. I think it would be very difficult to trace a photo of someone's face if I was at a cafe. I'm imagining that right now. I'm having a good chuckle. I love how your mind works, Brittany. I think that's one of the things I want to learn is and be able to do is when I'm out and about, be able to actually draw the people I see. But sometimes you don't have to even add their faces. You can just draw the shape, because people when you're out and about, they're always moving, so it's not always easy to capture a full likeness. Wow, that's cool, doing clay and pottery. Where are you going with your mum, Dawn? thanks for coming by, Kim. It's been so lovely to have you and chat with you. Yes, I think charcoal and using pastels would be very similar. I don't have any good pastels yet to really work with. I have been working with a bit of oil pastels. So I did a visual study on in some of the previous pages, and in there I used oil pastels, and yeah, that was a load of fun. Right, now what will happen if I use some white Posca pen to kind of try and replicate the snow on here. So it's artificial snow. Now, if you wanted to create realism, you'd probably need to create like a grid. And from there, you could spend probably, I think on this drawing alone, you could probably easily spend about 50 hours to make it look exactly like what I'm seeing in front of me. That's cool, Dawn. You got your brother some jeans. That's nice. Let's use acrylic paint. So there's a whole lot of splattering of white along here. Oh, thank you. So down here it needs to be a little bit less white, but still light. Have a good day, Dawn. Keep well. There is a lot of snow in here. Oh my goodness. Another great way of sketching is the urban sketching style. I quite like that. You can, instead of taking a camera, you can just draw what you see and make a record that way. I quite really like that sort of idea. So that is another style of drawing that I think is really, really cool. You can use a watercolor wash and really just a pen, so it's quite easy to take with you wherever you go. Oh, I agree. It is very forgiving. And it really does make it easy to want to come back to it. I must say, I've never gotten really good with using white charcoal. I know Lisa Matroshkin uses white charcoal for the highlights of her portraitures. I've just not been able to really get the hang of that, and I don't remember to use it. Go for it, Kim. Be lovely to see what you draw. Just don't use a banana and 2 oranges. I used a banana and I think it was 2 lemons. I think it was a few months ago, and I was practicing a bit of still life, and oh my goodness, I did not intend to draw what I ended up drawing, and when I looked at it, I had such a laugh. And then of course, if I went and told a few friends, they all immediately thought the same thing, and I was like, no, I did not mean to draw that. Black and white is easy to do because you're working with values. However, when you're starting to draw, from what I'm understanding from various tutors, you want to really focus on observational drawing. Drawing what you see. And drawing from life. Not really drawing from photos. Because often the photos we get on Pinterest and Instagram or even Google, the lighting is not necessarily realistic. And it does us a disservice, especially in the beginning. Yeah, no, they all had a good laugh at me. I wonder if we just bring in here a bit of a acrylic paint pen. Along here. We can always put back in the white highlights. Yes, I think we're going to see a lot more AI generated film, photos and that sort of thing coming now onto the internet. Just, I don't think there's any getting away from that. Oh yeah, I'm sure. I think, yeah, AI is tricky. Some people will use it and other people, I think, just don't want it. AI in the arts, I'm not 100% sure of. Although I did come a friend of mine, she's doing the same course I am, and she told me about an artist she came across who uses AI to help her brainstorm her ideas, and then she goes and she creates the artwork. Now, these ideas that she's getting the AI to help her with is actually just going in and helping her flesh out her memories and bring what she remembers into a visual, because she hasn't got photos for it. And then she uses her skill to do the drawings, and her paintings are just really phenomenal and handmade, not AI generated at all. But she's got this sort of like, she uses AI as a tool to help her in the planning part of her artwork. So some people do use that. Others are using AI to do the actual work, which I'm not sure about. So it's a very interesting conversation. Yeah, it's a very clever way she's using it, and yeah, her work is, I checked out her work, and she does have an Instagram reel as well, or an account, and I think she's been winning some art prizes with her work, but it's 100% hers. You can even, I think when she's exhibiting, you can even watch her do some of the paintings. Yeah, it is. There is a lot of fakeness on the internet at the moment. But to be fair, I think there's been a lot of fakeness for a while. Okay, I think I'm done with this. I'm not really sure how else to really work it. So I'm probably going to stop here and let it be what it is. So that is my drawing, and yeah, I think I'm done with it. I'm not really sure how to work with it anymore. I think it's pretty much done. I mean, other than just deepening some of the car shadows. But yeah, okay, great. So I thank you for hanging out and letting me just do a Yule log Christmas table decoration instead of coloring in. I really appreciate your grace with me and letting me do so and supporting me with it. I really appreciate it. I am hoping to compile a bit of a sketchbook tour for you, so you can have a peek into some of my sketches and see what I've been doing. They are what they are, but I'll take you guys with me on a journey, and I look forward to what the new year has for all of us. I'm not yet sure if I'm gonna take a Christmas break off from the channel or not. I'm just gonna think about it. I don't want to make any commitments just yet. So I might still do a live stream on Monday. I might not. I'll let you guys know. And hopefully if I do another couple of live streams, I will do more the Christmas decorations. if I decide to take a break, then what I'll do is I will come back the week after New Year's. So I think that will be the week of the 5th. Thank you so much for hanging out and for chatting. Appreciate you all. Look forward to seeing you again, hopefully next week. If not, in the new year, I will confirm. Keep well, stay warm, and enjoy. Take care, everyone. Bye.